Welcome back to my channel, and my business Sharpening by Randy. Today we're going to go through sharpening lawnmower blades. How I do it, what I do, why I do it. What I have here is a couple batches of lawnmower blades. Kind of rinky at the moment, but I will put them in a bucket of water for a little bit. Then when I'm done with letting them soak, because what that does, that loosens up all the grass clippings on the blades. If you don't, it's like concrete and it takes forever to clean them. And that's one big thing you want to do is clean your lawnmower blades the best you can, because when you come back to the sharpener, you balance them. And if you got any crud on it, it will give you a false reading. Now this is what I have rigged up for cleaning. All it is an electric motor and an arbor shaft with 2-wire wheels. You want to have a mid style, and the other side is a fine brush. A lot of times I'll use the fine brush just to take the flap off, but if it is kind of thick and hard, I will use a knotted one. And all it is I think it's like a quarter horse motor. That's all it is, just a quarter horse motor. That's all on a shaft. So simple and easy. Kind of made it up myself. Nothing spectacular. Just not spend a lot of money. And what I'll do is I'll bring it over here on my bench, sort them, length, style, and then this is the sharpener I use. And it's just a hand sharpener. It is a R.B.G. 2181P. It's professional. And I'm using the blue wheel, which actually you need to get all the ones. But this is all I use. And I'll show you, it gives a beautiful smooth contour. And this is my balancer. And this is all I use for my balancing. A lot of people will put a nail in the wall, which that will actually give you a false reading. And in a minute, I'll show you exactly what I mean. I'll put a piece of spherical board, and I'll show you. You're not balancing off the center of the blade is what you want to do. I do have a very expensive automated sharpener, but I have not even set it up yet. And that sits back here in the corner. Using this, I'm still setting up the shop. But I have one of these. It's completely automated. You set the blade on, put it in the mixture, and let it go. And then there's automatic stop on it. Like I said, I haven't set it up yet. My shop is still in disarray, trying to get from the new bit here, trying to get it going. So I'm going to go through my procedure now. I'm going to clean some blades. I'm not going to bore you with that. That is like boring is part of the whole job. It's not as gratifying as sharpening. And then I will clean all the blades up in the bucket. And then I'll show you how I set it out on the bench. And then I'll show you the grinding. Now, with cleaning the blades, it's super easy. I had them soaking in the bucket of water, and all I do is just run it on the wire wheel and just clean the slap off. It is just that easy. That's why I say this is boring. But all you gotta do is just clean up all the grass clippings on the blade. And not only gives you a better quality balance, but it also makes the blade look a lot better. So when you give it back to the customer, they're more appreciative of the work you do. You took that extra minute, that extra effort to give them a high quality job. And all I do is just run it on the wire wheel and just clean up all the slop. You may not be able to see it decent, I'm not sure, but just clean it up. And what I do is I've got these rubber gloves, It does help protect your hand, keep your hands clean, and it only takes a couple seconds to run on the wheel. Just back and forth. Just clean the slop up. Clean up the rust. You don't have to have it rust free, but it does clean the rust up, as you can see. Just nice and easy. Just don't get your fingers. Just don't get your fingers. That's all. And all you're doing is just cleaning up. Just cleaning it up. And like I said, when you go to balance it, you won't have all the crud on there. It'll give you a false reading. Because you want these balanced the best you can. Because that's what destroys the spindle bearing. Out of balance, like it'll make it vibrate. It'll put it out of sync. And that's what's hard on the lawnmower. If somebody doesn't balance it, you get a vibration. And you can tell pretty much instantly if they're not balanced correctly. It will vibrate. You feel it in your butt and your feet as you sit on it, you could say. But yeah, this is all I do is just take a minute, just clean it up good. Clean it up good. Flip it, do the backside. Just get all the slop off it. Because 1, 2, 3. And just that fast. It's all clean. I turned the camera a little bit, give you a better angle to see what I'm seeing. And like I said, this is the most boring part. It goes fast, it's just boring. So I got my radio playing in the background, listen to whatever I feel like. And just that fast. 1, 2, 3, we're done. I'll do one more. And that's the other reason why I'm wearing that thick rubber gloves. Because your hand slips, you're not getting screwed up. The last thing you want to do is get hurt. I don't know. Probably OSHA would probably have a bad day saying I need cars and yeah, but it's my own fault though, right? Take the warning stickers off. Figure it out for yourself. Okay, I have now got all the blades cleaned and sorted, as you can see here, different lengths, different styles. I'll go through the styles a little bit. You got some high back ones here. These are the high lifts, you would call them. I guess you would call that a high lift. You got that style. And you got the regular blades, just the regular style. I don't know if you can see it decent, but basically. And then you got the shorts, the shorter style, and the long style. There's two different lengths. Now on these blades, you will find different materials and different blades. Personally, I don't have any problems with this style blade, the high backs,
I like those blades. They're heavier blades. They're a better metal. You can tell by when you're grinding how soft it is. Now you say, take this blade, which is more of a cheaper blade. And as you can see, this is a stamped blade. It ain't a flat piece of steel. They stamped it in. They put their edge on and stamped it. And these are a soft lawnmower blade. They go away fast. I prefer a harder blade. They last longer. They hold their edge better. And now let's talk about some edging. On these blades, I'll use one of these. I give it what you would call a convexed blade grind. I don't know if you can see it decent or not, but basically it is a U-shaped in the face here. It is dished, so when the blade comes along, it hits it, and it'll actually give it a little better lip, a little better cut on the edge. When you grind these, you want these at 32, 31 degrees, right between there, 31, 32 degrees. You want to grind that. Another thing you don't want to see with lawnmower blades, and I'll use these here as for instance. See how it's sharp, stop, how it kind of just straight edge, and then you come. Now this guy gave me these blades a couple of years ago, and I grind them. I'm doing them, but I don't like it. What I would prefer when I get blades, these are good. For instance, how it's more gradual. What will happen is, with it being that hard angle there, that's potential for cracking. If this lawnmower blades hits a branch, a stone, something in the ground, it will want to crack right here. So you don't want to make that hard angle at the very beginning of your grind. Now a lawnmower blade typically will only cut the last portion of the blade. Normally, if you're cutting up here, I'm impressed, but most of the cutting does back in here. Now when I grind, I will knock off this bottom edge. You can see if you can see it or not. There's a bottom edge here that's all mangled up. I will clean that up, but I won't go as far as making every nook and cranny out of it. I won't give it that square off edge. I will give it a sharp edge, but not the squared. Because what you're actually doing is you're grinding away more material than you have to. You're grinding, not sharpening. And there is an actual difference between sharpening and grinding. You don't need to grind. You just want to sharpen, put the edge on. Now, we're going to aim down a little bit onto my balancer, and also it'll check for my if a lawnmower blade's bent. So what I do is when I get a blade, I'm going to use this one because I know for a fact this one's bent. I will set it up on my balancer, and then I take this little rod here and I set it out. Now I rotate it. See how much it moved and won't touch, and how much it and then touches there. I know for a fact that if you look at it, you can kind of see it's bent. They hit something with it, and I refuse to sharpen something like this. So I will set this one off to the side. I'll mark it, give it back to the customer bent, and I'll make sure he doesn't use it again. You don't want to sharpen a bent blade for liabilities. Yes, I've been asked to bend them straight, and I will refuse to bend them straight. If it doesn't cost that much money to replace a blade. Liability is way more. Now I'm going to sharpen a few and show you how fast it goes. So what I will do is I will put it on my balancer, make sure they're square. I will knock off that back edge, and then I will sharpen it. I pull it across the hard wheel about 4 times, and then I've got a bucket of water, and then which I will got right there, which then I will dunk it in. And normally, if I get the same blade back all the time from these landscapers, which we have a setup that way, if I run it across the hard wheel 4 times, you got a nice sharp edge, and then I can go from there. So I'll show you how I do it. And readjust the camera just a little bit. Bear with me. So I'll take this blade and put it on my balancer. And now I'll check. Here, I'll turn your camera just a little bit. I'll turn my camera just a little bit. I'll spin it. See how it touches? And it just touches there. It touches that, and it just touches there. So I know that blade is good. So now I will take this blade. I'm taking my time to show. Otherwise, I go a lot faster. Now, I will set up here. And I will put my... Also, that's another thing. When you do this, you always wear leather gloves. I don't care what you think, how tough you think you are. You're not that tough. I've cut myself more times than one. So I will turn this on, and I forgot one thing. Your dressing stone. This is your friend. Always, when you start off, clean up. It squares the wheel up. It also pulls all the dirt out of the wheel. And if the wheel will be dark in color, you do that, it cleans it up. So what I do is I turn the back of the blade, and I just run it across the back of the blade. It knocks all those spots off. Same here. Knocks all those, and I got a high spot right there. I just run my thumb across it real quick. Now, while I'm doing that, I've got this next blade on the balancer doing the same thing. I spin it. I make sure she doesn't touch. She's good. She does touches. That's perfect. Now I tuck my thumb behind here. Put my hand back here. Now you look at the blade, you can actually see I ground the whole face. So I know I'm adjusted right and the grind is right. You see how I got these little dimples right there? So I got to be paying attention to that. Dunk it in the water, cool it down, tap off the water a little bit. Now I will come and do this 3 times. Three times. Now I should be pretty close to being balanced. I might have gone a little too much, but we'll see what happens. Balancing out. And you'd be surprised how little it takes to balance out. Okay, now I will leave the camera face down there, but you see it's a little bit down still, so that just tells me a one light grind. And this is very important because you do want to get these things balanced. Now, I probably took too much. And see how much it doesn't take much to get a kittywampus. Yep, I went a little too much. So I come back on the other side. And do the same thing. One grind. And now we're pretty close. And that's all it takes. I've been told if it's a little off, it's okay. I'm OCD. I try to get it pretty much flat. And as you can see, it's pretty much flat. Okay, let's get back at this now. Now that we know where we are, like I did before, I ground to one side. Now I'm gonna come back to the other. That one I know is square, so I'm just letting it sit there till I'm done with this one. Got a little aggressive up there. That happens once in a while. Nothing to worry about. Now I pick this one out, put this one on, and I keep moving. You just want to be, when you're doing, you got a stack full, you just want to be efficient. You don't want to be sitting here all day. Flip it, checking my blade here. Blade's level, knock it off, put a new one on. Put my bar out, check it. Just touches, clicks a little bit. Beautiful. Now I keep moving. Look at the edge. Nice and clean. That's the way I like it. Nice clean edge. No big. Now, same thing. Set this one off to the side. I'm looking at my blade. It's tipped down a little bit. I know this side's heavy. I would say about 2 grinds. I've been doing this long enough. I can tell by now on how far it's tipped how much I need to grind. I'll let it settle, and bada bing, bada boom, I'm square. Put this up, put my next one on. Just remember, fast is slow, efficient is fast, and that one's good, and I keep moving. Four times, cool it, knock off water, one more time. Same amount of pressure on both sides. Now, if you look at the edge, here's a good one. If you look at the edge, it kind of just goes off into infinity. It just kind of goes into nothing. That is an ideal edge. Actually, too sharp can also be harmful because it'll dull faster than not sharp enough. If you understand, there's a nice happy medium. A brand new blade, and I'll show you what a brand new blade looks like. Here, I got a brand new blade here. And if you look at it close, I mean like real close, it's kind of blunted. On the very edge, it's kind of blunted. It's hard to tell, but this leading edge is almost flat. I give it a little more, little bit better, but that's how a factory comes, is flat. Safety coat shoes is another good thing to have on. Just saying. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sharpen. I'm not going to talk, I'm just going to sharpen. And you can see basically kind of speed what I do and kind of how efficient I am. Like I say, put the blade on, check it, just touches, I'm happy. Knock my edges off the back. Edges off the back, and I grind. Actually, I sharpen, not grind. Just that fast. Let that one balance out. Keep rolling. Now you can see this one's off balance a little bit. I would say 2 good pulls. A little more than I needed to. See, maybe not. Settle out. You don't have to have it perfect, but I try to. And that's just 1 pull on this side. 1 light pull. 1 light pull. Try to give the customer the best. And sometimes you fight it. A little too much. Sometimes you will fight it. It is what it is then. You just gotta slow down. And that is sometimes my problem is I'm trying to move in too fast. See? Now she's pretty much perfect. Nope. Next one on. Done. Okay, now that I'm done with all the sharpening, I have all my blades separated, the style and length, and gone through. They're all nice and sharp, good sharp edges. Now, in the process of sharpening, I come up with some bad blades. One of them, as I showed you before, was bent. And then I started sharpening, and I made an educated decision that these are past the point, they're at the point of being junk. If you see what I'm talking about, how it's starting to come up on the back edge there, where the lip is, that's pretty much gone. So if you can see how the cut radius is back in time, and these blades are older, so I've been sharpening them for a while. So basically what I'm trying to say is you don't need to take off so much on the very front here. Most of your sharpening will be done back in this area. That's why you'll see it lift up there. So now that I got these done, I'll throw those 4 in the scrap tub and write on the bill to the landscaper that he had 4 bad blades. And I'll do is I'll take my zip strips and zip strip all the bundles together and deliver it just like that. So if you are a landscaper thinking about having a sharpening business, do your sharpening. In my opinion, and I'm not trying to boost my business, but I'm saying in a smart move, it would have a sharpener, best to have a sharpener do your stuff, because we can do it fast, efficient, and we know what we're looking for. And if you are somebody looking to get into sharpening, it's not that overly expensive to get into it. Mine is a hand machine that I do everything by hand. That's the machine I use. And it makes a really nice grind, makes for a really nice product. Any questions, feel free to call me, email me, whatever you'd like. There's my phone number, there's my business. I'm out of Horicon, Wisconsin. If you want to email, it's sharpeningbyrandy.com. Or I'm sorry, sharpeningbyrandy@gmail.com. And there'll be more videos to come. Thank you.